Hi everyone, my name is Hanisa. Thanks for coming to my talk. Well, I just started. My talk's on networking with async await. I have about 3-4 years experience in iOS dev. So does anyone know about async await? Has anyone had experience? Yeah? Okay. So what is async await? Async await is a way to write code that deals with tasks that might take some time, like downloading an image from the internet or loading data from a file. Without async await, your app might freeze or slow down while waiting for these tasks to finish. So in simple terms, async means this task might take some time, and await means wait here until the task is done. So I found a real world example on Medium. An example would be like ordering pizza. So let's say you're ordering pizza for dinner. You place an order. This is like calling the pizza place. In programming, this is async because it takes time to make the pizza. You wait for the pizza. Instead of just standing there doing nothing, you might go watch TV, you might do some work, chat with friends. In programming, this is await. This is the wait part. And your app can do other things while waiting for the pizza. Once the pizza arrives, you can stop whatever you're doing and start eating. So I have a code example. This is not mine. So we have the functions order pizza and have dinner. And we start off with ordering pizza. So we place the order and we have task.sleep and we wait for 3 seconds. And then it returns a pizza is ready. But we have dinner and it's an async function. And we await for order pizza. And then we print pizza and the dinner is served. And we also have the task function at the bottom that says await have dinner. So this would be the code example of the description I gave earlier. Why do we use async await, or why use it in the first place? Does anyone know what we would use previously? Yeah. 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 Completion block. Yeah. Completion handlers, callbacks. Yeah. And we would use URL session, and this unfortunately is to callback hell, and it leads to hard to maintain code. The modern approach would to use async await, which was introduced in Swift 5.5 and improves clarity and code structure. Why is it better? It improves readability, it avoids nested closures, there's better error handling, uses standard do catch blocks, and safer execution. So it ensures UI updates on the main thread. So I have a demo that I'm going to go through. Do I need to make the text bigger? Is that fine? Yep. So I could have put this together last minute. I could have refactored this out a bit better. There is networking code in the view controller. You should never have that. All of your business logic should be in the view model. I also have a network manager. And right here with the function get city weather, that's the networking core, and it's marked async and it throws and it returns weather data. I forgot to say that this program is using the weather stack API, and it retrieves current weather, and it just shows the city, the temperature, and the sunrise time for a given city. So I have the endpoint here, and on line 23 we have our await URL session.shared.data, and if we get a 200 response, if the response status code is 200, then everything's good, or else we'll get an invalid response. And then we also have line 29. After line 29, that's where we do the JSON decoding, and we put it into the model with the data. So just at the bottom, I have my weather data model. I kind of have to put a couple of other, like current weather and astro, just to be able to access city, temperature, city name, so name, location, temperature, and sunrise. And remember to use Codable as well. Yep, and in my view controller, this is where we have task running, and we call get city weather with Sydney. And we have our dispatch queue that main async that refreshes the view on the main thread. And we also have error handling, where we have invalid URL if there's something wrong with the URL, invalid response, and invalid data. And then a catch all at the bottom for any other type of error. Do I have any questions on this demo? No questions? Okay. I have a GitHub repo. I'll share at the end if you want to take a look and play around it with yourself. Play around with it. Okay, so error handling in Swift. It's important to make sure you use error handling when networking. Common errors would include invalid URL, network failures like 404. 200 is not a network failure. That's like okay, but any other network failure, you probably want to handle that case. There's decoding errors as well as server errors where the server may be down or it's timed out. Along with that, we have best practices for networking in Swift. Always make sure to use a singleton pattern for network requests. This ensures consistency and avoids redundant instances. Always decode JSON using decodable and ensures manual parsing effort and errors. Perform UI updates on the main thread. Use dispatch queue.main.async. Handle errors gracefully, so provide fallback mechanisms in case of failure, and use tasks for managing async calls in UIKit. Tasks, task await fetch data. This ensures that execution happens doesn't happen on the main thread, it happens on the async thread. I have a QR code. You can scan it, and this is all my, it comes up with a link tree, and this is all my, my GitHub, my Medium, my LinkedIn, so feel free to check it out. Make sure to follow me, star my repos, please. Yeah. And you can save my contact, my email, if you want to contact me as well. Any questions? I might leave this one. Any questions?
You have like an awaitable method. Obviously, the function needs to be marked async. When does it stop? Like, do you have to keep marking its async all the way up to a task, or like what terminates that?
Usually you would call, if you want, for example, if you have a function and that's the function that's performing the network call, you would mark that as async. And if you mark it async, then it would...
that function, is that marked as async as well?
If
that's what you wrapped it in a task, I think.
Yeah, a task, yeah. And you would use keyword await when you try await. So when you call the async function.
Yeah. But your viewDid load is not marked as asynchronous yet. The task stops.
No, I shouldn't have put this in the view controller at all. Yeah, I actually put it in viewDid load, which is really not the best. But yeah, in a separate view model would be better. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay.
All right, round of applause. Thanks, Hanisa. We'll pass off to Sam. We back in 30 seconds. Yeah.